What's up, you guys? I'm back with another video. Today we're gonna really talk about my coming out story. I wanted to kind of like give y'all a brief story on my coming out story. I know for years a lot of people used to want to know what I am, what I'm not am, and I was always in my fucking business. But yeah, I'm gonna give y'all a little brief backstory. It won't be too long. If you want more, y'all can just let me know in the comments. But for me, I roughly knew that I was different since I was in 3rd grade. When I went to the elementary school, that's why I started. I was in 3rd grade. We used to have 2 buildings. One building was for like pre-K to like 4th or 5th grade. I think it was to 4th grade or something like that, or pre-K to 3rd or something like that, and then the big building was like from 4th to 5th to 8th grade. So we used to, as kids, we used to run back and forth from the small building to the big building, back and forth or wherever, and all that until it was time for us to go in for like breakfast or whatever the case may be. Me and this little boy had roughly ran like combusted together, or whatever, and we wound up like having an innocent having a little innocent kiss on the lip or whatever the case may be. For me at that point, that experience, I didn't think much of it because I was only in 3rd grade, but at the same time I didn't mind it, in a sense. Like I was just wondering like, what was that, or whatever the case may be. And then after that, nothing really happened in my life until I got older, and then I proceeded to be in high school. I feel like for me, I always knew something. I'm not gonna say that something was different about me. I mean, not different, but I always knew I wasn't the same as the other boys, whatever the case may be. I knew strictly, I didn't really understand what sexuality was, but I knew for a sense that, in a sense, I didn't like girls. Never did. Never in my life liked the girls. So, but I didn't know what was the words for that, like what was the meaning behind that, or what any of that mean, because since I was young, everybody always was like so eager to pull my sexuality out. They always wanted to know, like, are you this, are you that, are you blah 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 blah. So before I could even get a clear understanding of what I was, I had people always in my face asking me, questioning me, whatever the case may be. Then I got into high school. When I got into high school, I was very much like quiet and to myself. I didn't really talk to people because that was just the fact that I was trying to figure myself out. So in high school, I didn't date. I didn't want to date because I just didn't want nobody to know that I was gay. And then on top of that, I didn't want to waste females' time. I knew I would never be attracted to them. I knew I would never want to bury kids with them or do anything or be sexually active with them. So I didn't want to have a girl fall in love with me and then waste her time, and then her heart is broken, and I knew I could never give her what she really wanted. So I stood off dating, but that was very hard for me in a sense because I went to school with my oldest brother and my little brother, and they was always around. Everybody knew them, and everybody knew who they was talking to and who they was dating. So everybody was looking at me like, waiting on me to pick a girl to date and see what I was doing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Even my brothers and them used to ask me, like, you don't like nobody, da da da, or the case may be. And I also said excuses and came up with things to say or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, I also just came up with excuses. But the funny part about it is the whole coming out thing is I didn't came out a couple of times and then and then just went back in the closet like nothing happened. It was an incident where y'all know when kick was a thing or whatever the case may be, and I used to talk to this dude, and then this dude used to kick a lot, whatever the case may. Y'all, my little brother is nosy as fuck. So somehow one day my little brother had found the messages on Kik or whatever, and all the case may be, and he called me and asked me about it, and he's like, what is this you? What is this about? Whatever the case may be. So I had lied. So I had lied to my little brother, which my little brother is, man, I have the best little brother in the world, because my little brother was so supportive, and I have always been supportive. He just always wanted me to live in my truth, but he always been like the number one, never judged me. He just want to know my fucking business. He just want to know. He just want to know what's going on. But I had told him at the time that I was bisexual and I was figuring it out. His maybe at this time I was like maybe a freshman, sophomore in high school at this time. So I was like really still trying to figure stuff out. So I was like, yeah, I'm bisexual and all that. That fly past, I go back in the closet. That wasn't like a real coming out. I was like, yeah, nobody was asking about it. He didn't even tell nobody. I don't know if he told anybody. I don't know if he told my other brothers, and my other brothers just didn't say anything. But nothing was. I thought like the whole family was gonna be like, yo, what's this about? Your little brother told us this, that, and that. Nobody said anything, so I went back in the fucking closet. I was like, that's clear, whatever. Then I had another incident, y'all, where I was like on Facebook, and that's when like social media was very new to me, because I grew up at a part of time, I grew up in the 90s where we partially didn't have social media, and then later on, the transition as we got older, we started transitioning to social media. So I used to just see these like fake pages. I didn't know they was fake pages at the time, but I just thought they was just like beautiful men posting and all that. And I had, not knowing, I commented on like this fake ass page, and I said something like, this man is fine or beautiful or some shit like that. And my brother caught it. So at that point, so now I'm confronted. So my before I was confronted by my mom, my oldest brother had found it, and then he told my other brother that's 2 years older than me. Y'all have a lot of siblings, so don't try to keep up. He told my other brother. My other brother snitched to my mom. He snitched to my mom. So my mom was like, are you gay? Da, da, da. And at that time, it might seem like fun and games now. It might be seem easy to talk about now, but at that time, to be a young teenager that didn't have no nothing, no representation, what the fuck did I just say? At that time, to not have, y'all, I'm just stuttering, I'm so sorry. To never have like any representation. What the fuck is representation? At that time, I didn't see any other gay people. There was no other gay people around me. Barely even knew what gay was. Anybody. At the time I heard the word gay is when people was asking me was I gay. So that's that. So to be maneuvering around to try to understand your sexuality, and then you just seeing kids living their life, and flirting with girls and being teenagers, and go to parties and things like that, and can openly date, and then you're like, no, I'm not gonna openly date, because you see how it was one gay boy that used to go to our high school, and they bullied the fuck out of him. They bullied the fuck out of him every chance they got. He fought back, but I just felt like I didn't want to deal with that, and I wasn't going to deal with that. And second of all, I wasn't going to get fucking bullied, because my brother didn't want to allow that, and I wasn't going to allow that. But I just didn't want to even have that attention on me, because that's just how serious it was to me. I was just afraid to let that secret out, and it was my secret to share with the world. So I was going to share it when I felt like I wanted to share it. So that's the case on that. Yeah, so after my brother told my mom confronted me, and at that time, my mom was a very stern and aggressive person. So I never understood when she was talking to me what her reaction was. Was she okay with it? Was she upset about it? I didn't know what it was. I just think she just was looking for an answer. But the way she was acting was so aggressive. I was like, I'm not telling you shit. Basically, like, you know, I was scared shit. I was like, I'm not telling you anything. You know, I'm not telling you nothing else. So I denied. The brother that was like calling people and telling everybody, he wound up showing up to my house. So that's when I knew it was serious. I knew it was serious. He showed up to my house, and now I get from getting confronted by my mom, and now I'm getting confronted by my brother. So he's asking me, he's like, you know, it's okay to be gay, it's okay to be who you are, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just over there denying this shit. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. At that time, I had like a little slide-up phone. You know, the phones that you slide up, the T-Mobile phone, you slide up, whatever, and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I got girls texting my phone, they want to do this and do that with me and all that. And that man told me to my face, he said, what does that mean? My stomach, my stomach dropped, you guys, like, to the pit of hell. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, this is not working. But somehow, some way, I kept denying it, and I denied it till I could die no more. So then, after that happened, I went back to the closet. I went back into the closet, and I was like, yeah. And I just spent the rest of my school years not dating, not really staying away from that world. I didn't want to be anything, because I didn't want to have to explain to people I wasn't dating girls, and I wanted to tell people I wanted to date boys. So I just stayed away there. So I just had a lonely 4 years of high school, because I didn't get to date, I didn't get to you know, hold boys' hands. I didn't have any of that experience that you all get to have when you're a teenager. I never experienced any of that. You know what I'm saying? It took me to get older to really start experiencing a lot of things, which is sad to say that at this age, things can be still new to me when I should be having these experiences when I was like fucking 15, 16 years old. But the world was so cruel at the time. It still is cruel, but it's not as bad as it is now, but whatever. Jump forward to when I decided to come out the closet. When I finally decided to come out the closet, I was roughly, it took me all the way to 23 to 24 years old to come out the closet. And the reason I came out the closet was because at that time, my mom was on her deathbed. And when that realization hit me, and I seen my mom could almost pass away, it was just like a switch had turned on. It was like, why the fuck are you trying to live for everybody else? And everybody else get to be in love and live and do things they want to do and be who they want to be and you know, be loud and bold about it. And I'm sitting up here trying to put on a persona and for what? For fucking what? Put on a persona for who? And that's when I made the decision. I was like, you know what? I can literally lose my mom and I'm sitting here unfucking happy in a world for no fucking reason because other people fucking opinion or what. So at that time, I was in the hospital, and I decided, I said, you know what? I'm gonna tell all my brothers, I'm gonna tell all my friends, I'm gonna tell everybody in my fucking life, and whoever don't like it, you can get the fuck on. And that was just what my decision was. And y'all, that's just basically how I came out. If y'all want a longer and more detailed story about my coming out story, or like how most of my brothers reacted, or you want to know how my sister reacted, let me know. Drop questions in the comments and stuff you want to know about it, if you want a more detailed story. But that's just basically how my coming out went. But thank you guys for listening, and I'll catch you on another one.